A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David, and we are having a 14-degree evening here at the moment, 10 knots from the southwest, 1011 and 98% cloud cover. We have had showery weather all day, but fortunately during my walking that we were in bush and it wasn't too bad at all, really, no wind at that stage. Well, a bit of news. We have the sad news first because we want to move on to some better news. Last night we talked about Thursday's Child, which was on a reef in the Lau group at the time, and unfortunately it did not come off the Lau group reef. They are now on the boat second set heading to Savu, so a real shame. It's the first time we've had that for a couple of seasons now, and really feel for the crew on Thursday's Child. The excitement for the day after that was the earthquake in Tonga. I believe, thanks to Christine with the news on Sugar Shack, they emptied the boats out of the harbour in case of tsunami. It was a decent sized earthquake, 6.6. But all is well, and it looks like the boats are coming back again. There's some David will talk about the weather in Tonga Tapu and in Tonga generally, but I can see why Carrera still hasn't headed off to the Hapais. It doesn't sound very pleasant out there. Very exciting Indy 500. We don't talk too much about sport on this because we don't really follow it too much, but boy, we are motor heads, and the Indy 500 race today was probably one of the most exciting you would ever wish to see. It was delayed 4 hours because of rain, and they had road sweepers and God knows what on the track to get it to good for driving because of the speeds that they do. It was amazing. I've forgotten how many times the race leader changed around. It was 40. Was it over 40? It was absolutely amazing, and in fact it was won on the last bend of the last lap, and they got 200 laps out of it, and Newgarden actually won for Team Penske. Scott McLaughlin was sixth. He was the one that a few days ago got the race track record. Scott Dixon in the Honda was third, and a Mexican fellow, Pato O'Ward, was second. Will Power crashed. It was just the most amazing race. So if you get to see any highlights, you'll really be absolutely stunned and amazed, especially when you look at the speeds that they were going when they were jiggling around, moving around. 9 people didn't finish. One of them was Marcus Armstrong, the other Kiwi that was there. But yeah, it was just an amazing race. Well, there is a bit of weather around, so if anybody wants a bit of a fill, just say so when we go to you. I've got a couple of positions in, and I'll start with Y2K first because they've had an absolute miserable 24 hours with lots of squalls. They're 31 miles from Funafuti, and this morning, however, they had a 20-minute fight with a marlin. It got to within 5 meters of the boat when it did an almighty jump, which was captured on film, and broke everything, took everything, and off it went. But they are now at 8 degrees 9 south and 17856 east. They're 31 miles from Funafuti. No wind, east-southeast, about 1 knot. Temperatures down to 27. 1006, and they're on a course of 147, motoring at 5 knots. So they had a much more exciting day than it sounds like the boys on Gracias, who do sound a little bit bored. It was just a pleasant day. 2603 south, 17615 east, on a course of 006 true, 5.5 knots. They've got 6 knots of south-southwest, 10% cloud cover, all well on board, but they do sound a little bit bored. I mean, goodness gracious me, you can't please everyone, can you? I mean, what would they want a storm for? Pogean, they're doing rather well too, 2518 south and 17942 west. Past the date line, 8 to 10 knots of southeast wind, 1.5 southwest swell, 50%, still no precipitation, they're having it a bit lucky. 1014, they're going to probably pass South Minerva at sunrise, and they'll go on to North Minerva tomorrow, so that's where they will be.
Right to the reach.
Carrera. Now, I'll just see if I can copy you guys to see what your plans are. Carrera, Gulf Harbour Radio. Judging by the number of people in Pangamoto there, they're probably all having a great time ashore. Okay, let's go to Whitehawk, Gulf Harbour. Oh, good copy tonight, Lynette. Go ahead. Okay, so you'll be in South Minerva, 2:45 in a couple of days. 2651 south, 17738 east. Very peaceful weather day, 053 true, so they're motoring at 4 knots with that 2 knots, gusting 3. 0.5 metre swell, 10% cloud cover. It sounds absolutely gorgeous. And 245 miles to go. So it sounds like all is well on board, apart from the lack of wind. I wonder if David's got any wind. Have you got any wind for that area? He's having a look.
Let me check here.
Let me check, says he. And the next boats I'll be calling are Freydis, Moonfish and Obsession. Freydis, Moonfish and Obsession. So we're just standing by to see what the weather is going to be around the Minerva area and south.
For what? Okay, well, I'm looking at around 25 south, anyhow, for tomorrow around noonish. And, well, there's a little bit more wind, maybe 10 knots out of the southwest, which that would be directly behind you. I'm sure that's not exciting. But that's what it looks like for tomorrow about lunchtime, I'm afraid. Not much air, but more than what you've got now, but behind you. Over.
All right, clear with John and Lynette, and go to Freydis, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, Freydis, hi, copy?
Yep, good strong copy tonight. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Patricia and David. Our position is 27 degrees 37 south, 178 degrees 57 east. We've got barely 8 knots of wind from the southwest, less than a metre of swell, 10% cloud cover. We're on a course of 024 true. On the previous day, apparently I've been giving you my magnetic, sorry. And our boat sailing at the moment is 3.5 knots. Our distance to London South Minerva is 245 knots a mile.
About the same tomorrow for them too.
Yeah, David says about the same weather tomorrow for you too. So Freydis heading to South Minerva, 2737 south and 17857 east, 024 true, 3.5 knots. 8 knots of southwest. So did you mean the same wind, about 8? Yeah, about the same
direction.
Tomorrow, same direction, less than 1 metre. Is there a decent wind the next day? 10% cloud cover, and estimating South Minerva in 245 miles. David's just looking what the models say for another day. It would be nice if it picked up a little bit, wouldn't it? Stand by.
No.
Oh, sadly, I won't pass the microphone because he says no, but here he is for the reason why.
Well, both of you yachts that are close to each other, well, you're right on the axis of the ridge that's sticking out almost toward Minerva. So it makes its bend, the isobars that is. So the wind is going to go from the southwest to the south, and that's what I'm looking at Wednesday, that's the 29th. Not much wind either, south 12, 14, well, maybe 14, but fairly light air in this ridge. Usually it tends to speed up once it gets around the ridge, but not right on the axis, I'm afraid, not much. So, sorry to say, I guess your arrival would be Thursday, is what maybe you said.
Oh, no,
Or maybe you
Wednesday,
didn't say
probably.
it, but anyway,
Wednesday.
the wind does pick up then. So by Thursday, we'll be looking at maybe about 18 knots out of the south, nearing or at Minerva. So there
They'll
you
be-
go. You'll have
they'll be there
nice
Wednesday.
wind getting in on. Oh, they're going to be there Wednesday.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Sorry. Here's the chief.
Yeah, I'm assuming you'll be there on Wednesday. Is that correct?
I certainly hope so, Patricia.
Yeah, oh well, you'll be in nice sheltered condition for the wind. So, all right. Well, it's not too bad, and it's nice and sunny and quite pleasant. But yes, it would be nice to get a bit more wind, wouldn't it? Okay, we'll clear with freighters and go to Moonfish, then Obsession. Sasha, are you on frequency?
Hello, Patricia. How do you read? Over.
Very nice copy tonight. So, hope all is going well with you guys.
We're very well on board, but we're very similar to Bartley. We are a little bit bored. We've set the counting of flying fish, and we'd like a bit of wind, over.
Yeah, there's not much we can do about that. We haven't even got any wind here, so can't send what we haven't got. Over.
Missed that. Sorry, can you repeat, over?
Yeah, I said we haven't even got wind here, so we can't send you any because we haven't got any. Over.
Look at it. Yeah, it's windy everywhere at the moment, it seems. Shall I give you my position, over?
Yep, go ahead with the lot. Over.
So we have 2547 south, 17548. Our course is 350 magnetic. We have roughly 5 to 10 knots, but it's in the 5 knot zone at the moment. 20% cloud cover, and we're currently going 7 knots, motoring, motor sailing, over.
Okay, they've only got about 5 knots of wind. Boy, that seems to be the name of the game tonight. Moonfish 2547 south, 17548 east. Now, I don't think I've got your course correct. I think you gave me wind direction, which was 250. Is that correct? Southwest wind at 5, over.
350 magnetic, over.
Oh, 3-5. That makes more sense for your course. Motor sailing at 7 knots with 20% cloud cover. Oh, well, it's a pretty pleasant day, over.
Yeah, it's been absolutely lovely. We're watching the sunset now, and we can get around, over.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. So, doesn't sound as if you're going to be ripping along anytime soon. But you did do some good speeds at the start, so you'll just have to keep that in your memory banks. All right, we'll clear with you guys and go to Obsession.
Session here, go Harbour, it is, you copy, Patricia.
Oh, I certainly do, Lisa. Go ahead.
Good evening, we're very much like everybody else, I think. We are presently at 31 degrees 28 minutes south, 17 degrees 39 minutes east. Our course is approximately 007 magnetic, and we're doing 5 to 6 knots under motor. Our conditions are less than 5 knots of the southwest wind, like most people, but a nice day. 1 metre swell, 60% cloud cover, and hopefully we're hoping for wind tomorrow, over.
Yeah, well, you can hope like everybody else. Could you just give me your longitude degrees? Is it 17? I didn't get the last digit, over.
176 degrees, 39 minutes east.
Okay, yep, 176. 3128 south, 17639 east. They're motoring at 5 to 6 knots on a course of 007.
More wind tomorrow.
You got more wind for them tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, that's a bit more cheerful because they have less than 5 knots of southwest today.
About 15.
Beautiful weather tomorrow. I'll just pass the microphone.
Well, I've moved you up to about 29, 30, sorry. And the wind looks like 15 knots, 15 knots out of the southwest. So there you go. You'll be able to shut the motor off. Over.
Thank you, David. That's great news. Over.
Roger that. Have a good sail tomorrow. Well, it'll come in tonight probably, but it'll just slowly build up. I'm looking at lunch tomorrow, so let's hope it's there tonight as well.
Okay, we'll clear with obsession. At least we can make somebody happy tomorrow. We think that, well, we got a bit confused because people have turned off their AIS, but I suspect Falado, Ballina and Mackay, and even maybe Artemis, because what I'm seeing on the AIS for Mackay and Artemis is hours and hours old. So let's go to Mackay. You on frequency, Barry?
Yeah, Roger, Patricia. This is Mackay. How copy?
Oh, good copy as usual. Are you in Tongatapu? Where are you? Over?
I am currently 22.3 nautical miles from the anchorage. Let me give you my position. I'm off the island and motoring in. My position is 21 degrees, 10 minutes south, 175 degrees, 24 minutes west. Currently under motor, speed doing 5.1 knots. Course over ground, 71 degrees true. Wind 11 knots, direction from the southeast. Sea is about a half a meter, it's just nothing here. And it's from the southeast. I've got a bar of 1017. And I guess all is well, not exactly. About a half hour ago, I heard this very loud bang and thought I'd hit something. And I went up on deck to find that my forward shroud, lower shroud, was dangling on the starboard side, and the chain plate had failed. The mast is stable, the rig is stable, but I brought all sail down, of course, and
Given
decided
what
to
weather.
motor in. Over.
Yeah, roger that. In which case, David's going to give you some weather to carry you through. You always end up with some work to do. So here he is. I've got you at 22 miles, 22.3 miles from the anchorage, which was quite exciting today, as you would have heard. And you are at 2110 south, 17521 west, motoring 5.1 without the forward shroud on a course of 071 true, with the wind currently at 11 knots southeast, half a metre swell, 1017. Stand by.
Barry. Yes, Barry. Boy, sorry about that. Broken wire shroud, not good. Tomorrow, actually tonight into tomorrow, you need to be very careful because the winds are going to pick up and there are going to be thunderstorms and it looks like heavy rain. What I'm seeing on my satellite imagery is actually some cyclonic flow that's just to the northeast of Tongatapu, and it's probably going to be over Tongatapu tomorrow. I give you what the Tonga forecast is for Tongatapu. It's for the Hapais as well. They're looking at southeast winds, maybe east to southeast, 10 to 20, but rising 25 to 30 early morning hours. And they're expecting 3-meter seas, and they are saying poor visibility in areas of heavy rain and thunderstorms. And I could believe that forecast looking at the imagery. So anyway, not a good arrival, I don't think. So hopefully you'll take your time, be careful, and not have too much sail up. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Got no sail up. I took the sails down after the lower shroud on the starboard side failed. I will make the anchorage around midnight or so, I'm thinking, and put out plenty of scope. And I think once I'm in there, things will be fine. The rig isn't unstable; it's good, and I'll be able to ride out the blow. But yeah, the fun times. Really don't know much more what to add to that. Over.
Yeah, well, that's good. Wednesday, you're looking at 15 to 20, but rising 25 knots. This is also coming from Tongamat. And outside the anchorage, the seas are about 2.5 meters. That includes the Papayas as well as Tongatapu. Actually, it includes Vavau as well. So, you're in for a bit of cyclonic rotation there, but it looks like it's going to go away in a day or so. Maybe Thursday it'll be gone. Let's hope so. But we'll tell you tomorrow what's going on. Over.
Okay, Roger, David. Thank you very much. Tomorrow I should be in the anchorage. I've got good GPS tracks, and I'm gonna go ahead and go in tonight. So, I'll turn it back to Trish that is selling up some Mackay standby.
Oh, well, probably Artemis has caught you up with that sort of problem. We'll see where they are. Artemis, Gulf Harbour. No, nothing heard from Ingrid. So let's go. I wouldn't mind finding Zelda to see where they ended up. Zelda, Gulf Harbour.
Gulf Harbour, we just sailed up. Oh, copy.
Oh, good evening, Heike, and thank you for handling things to us last night. Go ahead. Where are you now? Over.
Our position is 1803 south, 179er 58 east. Course or crown 330 true, speed 5 knots, wind 9 knots from east southeast. Swell 1.5 meters, 100% cloud cover, 1012 millibar. It's well on board. Over.
Okay, and your destination is Fulanga. Over.
Sabo is our destination.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm just looking at that properly now. Okay, 0171. Righto. So let's read that back to you. 1803 south, 17958 east, course 330 true, 5 knots with 9 knots of east southeast, heading to Savu, 1.5 meter swell, 100% cloud cover, and 1012 on the bar. So you will be smelling the barn. Stand by.
Okay, well, be aware that the trough that's been hovering around Fiji is going to be over the northern parts of Fiji by probably tonight, certainly into tomorrow. And there's cloud, there's rain, and you could expect east to southeast winds 15 to 20, and that pretty much is what Fiji Met is having to say. And the next day they're looking at southeast 20 to 25. So the wind is picking up after this, or in this trough. Whether or not that trough hangs around, it's hard to say. It's been moving around, trying to make up its mind where it wants to be. But I think it's going to be worse on Wednesday. Looks like the axis of it is going to be right through the center of the group of islands of Fiji. So wash your boat off, I suppose. Over.
Okay, Heike, did you copy that? Over.
Yes, thank you. I copied most of it. Please, that we might get some more wind, which would be very nice.
Yeah, it seems to be in short supply this evening. That's for sure. All right, and hello to Cheryl. Okay, we have Sugar Shack leading the bunch, going straight up towards the Vanuatu chain. They've got Vallela behind them, Jamala, Trinity. So Sugar Shack, Christine, how copy?
Hey, good evening. This is Christine and Matt on Sugar Shack. How copy?
Yeah, good copy. Thank you. Looks like everything is going according to your plans. Go ahead.
Yeah, we found a little bit of the wind. It's in a process of putting up the spinnaker, taking it down, putting it down. But, it gives you something to do during the day. Quite beautiful, very few squalls. And it's actually going along. It's a little slow, but very pleasant. Position is 22 degrees, 26 minutes south, 170 degrees, 13 minutes east. We are on a course of 344 true with a boat speed between 5 and 6 knots. The wind is between 8 and 10, 8-10 from the southeast. We have a 1.5 meter swell from the southeast. Our distance to go is 180, over.
Ah, that's a difficult distance, isn't it, with that low wind? 2226 south, 17013 east, on a course of 344 true, heading to Port Resolution. 5 to 6 knots. The wind is 8 to 10 knots from the southeast. 1.5 meter swell southeast, and 180 to go. So, what are you? Do you reckon you could do that in a day, over?
We certainly could if we had wind. And we could probably turn the motors on and add an extra knot or two. But we are contemplating trying to work with the customs to see if there's any possibility of us entering at Mystery Island. I haven't heard back from them, so that's not looking likely. But either way, we don't want to arrive at Port Resolution or Mystery Island at night. So tomorrow we'll make a determination of whether or not we slow the boat down even further so that we can just arrive during the day.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got that, and I think by lunch tomorrow the wind should be about 15 knots, 1.5 out of the southeast. In fact, I'll bet by midnight tonight you'll probably have, maybe about 12 knots, 11 knots, 12 knots, like that. So a little bit more than what you've got now, maybe not much, but a little bit more. And yeah, it'd be good if you can get into Anisham, into the Mystery Island area. It's very easy to anchor in there, even at night. Yeah, we've been in there a couple of times. So yeah, it would be nice if you can get permission to drop the hook there. So anyway, that's the wind. You'll get more. Over.
Well, that's very good news. Thank you very much. And I did want to let you guys know that Iron Maiden seems to be safe and sound in Okua, according to their AIS. Over.
Yes, indeed. We got a message to say that Coast Guard had met them and pulled them in. I forgot to mention that because I've been out most of the day. So yes, did we get a message? Oh, it was from Maritime we got the message. Yep. So that all worked well. I'd have to say, if you have a problem, New Zealand is the place to arrive. The Coast Guard, Maritime, the RCC, us, I mean, everybody works so incredibly well together. Great communications. We even had a call last night from the Coast Guard just to find a bit more about the weight of the boat, so they knew what sort of boat, how heavy it was to get in. So yeah, it all worked well. I just hope they can get things fixed up and be, as you say, be back out there and joining you in Vanuatu. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for them, Christine. You and Matt, have a good night. Over.
Thank you so very much. Well, so far it's been really pleasant passage, so I'm very quite pleased. So thank you for being there for us, and we'll be on the side.
Roger that. And we'll now go one more boat, Shanu, coming down from Fortuna to Savu Savu. Jonathan, go ahead. Yeah, got a reasonable copy on you, Jonathan. How's it going? And go ahead with the full report.
1448 17830 west. On a course of 2006 knots with 000 miles to go at 77.
Yeah, how many miles to go to Savu Savu? How many miles to go, please? Over.
000.
Hey, I missed the 2. Okay, 200 to Savu Savu. They're at 1448 south, 17830 west on a course of 200 true, 6 knots. And what are the current wind speed and direction? Over.
Wind is easterly at 15 to 20.
Ooh, good.
What's their position?
I've got a 90% cloud cover and a 1 to 1.5 metre, actually call that 4 metre northeasterly swell with an 8-second period. And the bar is set at 1.010, over.
Roger that. So David's just stolen my book because he's looking at where you are on the satellite picture.
8178.
Yes, it is indeed. No, you're looking at the wrong one. You're looking at Y2K. Shainu is at 1448 and 17830 west, and they've got an easterly 15 to 20. Well, there's where the wind is. 90% cloud cover, and they're about 200 miles from Savu Savu there. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm just going to see if he's got an outlook for the next 24 hours.
I read the Fiji outlook.
Yeah, oh yes, you already read the Fiji outlook, so there you go. All right, well, have a good safe night, Jonathan. We'll talk again tomorrow. Over. Okay, sounds like a lot of you are having trouble listening, and I think what we might do one night is have a session on how to reduce noise on your single sideband radio. The trouble with a lot of things that you have running on board, chargers and motors and these lights are the biggest pain. I have to turn off every light that we've got, these wonderful low draw lights in the boat, if I want to talk to people on 3 megahertz. You need to do your test of switching things off on the frequency that you are going to be working on, because for example some lights in particular in our freezer, it doesn't work. Well, we can't have the freezer on actually on on 3 megs, but we can on 8, and some we need to turn things off for 20 megahertz. This is 14 megahertz on 20 meters. It's just has to be a test that you do right throughout the boat, even down to solar panel. I could go on, but I think probably we should have a bit of a session on that when you're all sometimes you've got stuff on when you're sailing that you don't have on at anchor, so that adds a bit of confusion too. Okay, moving on. We have not heard from Carrera as to what they're doing. Artemis hasn't called in. Falado and Bellina, I assume, are in Tongatapu. Is there anybody wanting to make contact? Please call. Oh, here's Artemis. I know there's somebody else in behind Ingrid, but let's go with Artemis. Go ahead, Ingrid. Over.
Good evening, Vanessa. Our position at the moment is 21°19' south, 175 degrees 34 west. We've got about 17 knots of wind at the moment, coming from about 50 degrees south. We're going about 3 or 4 knots, but just about to pop the motor on to get into gear to get in support before that wind comes.
Roger that. You must be able to see Mackay from that position. Is that right?
We have got a visual on it, but we have been in contact very much today, and we'll be either following his track or he'll be following ours. Hopefully we'll be cut and by midnight.
Yeah, indeed, because of it would be good if you can find him, with just in case there is a problem with that lack of shroud. So Artemis is at 2119 17534 west. So they'll be in the Anchorage area at midnight too. They're currently got a boat speed of 3.4, but a bit more wind, 17 knots. So it's starting to pick up a little bit. So have a good entry, Ingrid, and hopefully there won't be an exciting earthquake for you to deal with tomorrow. Over.
Yeah, hopefully not. Thanks so much for listening, David. It's been great talking with you guys every day.
Yeah, good too. It's been quite a good group, this particular passage area. All right, we'll clear with you. There was somebody in behind Ingrid. Who was that? Did you get that?
No.
No, I'm not getting that. Could anybody give me a relay for that boat? It's a male voice, but I can't pick it up. Could you give your boat name a couple of times, please? Over. Oh, it's Carrera. I tell you what, they've got so many boats around them, the signal's probably got lost. Barry, if you could just find out what their plans are and let me know. I'm not going to be able to pick up Michael at all. So Carrera, please go ahead and tell us what you guys are up to, and Barry will relay. Go ahead.
Nuku Alofa, and Carrera, you are thinking of leaving tomorrow night, is that correct? Roger, thinking of leaving potentially tomorrow night or the next morning, and you're saying...
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. Yep, I do. We've got a clipping problem with the internet again, but yes, thank you for the relay. So they're keeping an eye on the weather by the look of it, and we'll talk to them tomorrow night to see what they've actually done. Yes, some interesting weather around there. I'm not sure that I'd want to be in the Hapais with that current forecast that David gave. So probably Pangamoto is as good a place as any. So anyway, Carrera, we will talk to you tomorrow night and see how things are, Michael. Okay, thanks very much, Barry. Is there anybody else with anything? No, nothing heard. So we'll love and leave you. And the frequency is yours if you want it, to keep in touch with each other. And we will be back again tomorrow night. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. We are clear.